Well, it's been a minute. So yeah, guys, it's been a while since I've done a review, and it's a mix of being busy, getting a new place, getting settled in, and life just kind of getting in the way, and the lack of movies coming out in August, September that caught my interest, and here we are, getting near the end of October, and finally, Killers of the Flower Moon, a movie I have been greatly anticipating, has finally come out, and we're going to talk about it today. So let's just get into it. Killers of the Flower Moon, based off of the book by David Gran. This film directed by the great Martin Scorsese, of course. You got Leo DiCaprio playing Ernest Burkhart. You got Robert De Niro as William King Hale. You got Lily Gladstone as Ernest's wife Molly. And you got Jesse Plemons in there as FBI agent Tom White. Look, this is a fantastic cast who delivers fantastic performances. But I guess it's been a while since I've done this. Let's talk about the story real quick. The story here is that in the Osage Indian Nation, oil's discovered. And of course, this tribe here and their descendants, like their family, like all these people have just so much more wealth than the white man. And of course, the white man comes in and ruins practically everything because now it's Native Americans are being murdered, and nothing's being done about it. So essentially, it's people are getting murdered for money. The white people want the money, the Native Americans have the money. And what is kind of making some of the white people mad is that the Native Americans are actually a lot smarter about it because that's how they got so stinking rich. So some of these murders start turning up. And then in comes Ernest Burkhart, played by Leo DiCaprio, who kind of comes back from the war. He's kind of needs a job, so he works with his uncle, who's got this kind of shady business. But at first, it's kind of wholesome. He meets Lily Gladstone, who plays Molly Burkhart in the film, and they get married. They have kids, and because of this marriage, he is in line. Ernest Burkhart, that is played by Leo, is in line to get some of this money, the oil money that has been given out to the Osage, tribe. Essentially, this is a Martin Scorsese gangster film, but in the Midwest, like in just Oklahoma, out in the middle of nowhere. And it's very interesting that he would tackle something like this. And I'm gonna get straight with you. It is a good movie. I'm not gonna no bones about it. Not gonna beat around the bush. This is a good movie. I mean, Martin Scorsese is not a terrible director. I don't think he's capable of making a terrible film. But the caveat here is, this is a 3.5 hour runtime. I think it was like 3:26 was the total runtime, 3 hours, 26 minutes. And you feel it. It is a long movie. And I was definitely kind of nodding off towards the beginning. I mean, I kind of was catching stuff. I would just close my eyes enough just to be like, man, nothing is happening. It is a lot of talking. And the acting and stuff is kind of what almost keeps me in it. It's, Leo giving a great performance. It is, Robert De Niro crushing it as this character. Borderline probably best supporting actor type stuff, but I don't know if he just got there for me. Then you have like Jesse Plemons who comes in. He's always great whenever I see him and stuff. And then Lily Gladstone, a more subdued performance. She's got to show emotion, obviously, because it's some of her family members in the film that are getting murdered. And so when she's stoic and, keeping to herself, you can see a lot with the eyes. I think she does a lot of good eye acting. I don't know if it was the direction or what. I wish I would have gotten a little more out of her. I wish she was in the movie a little more. But, I mean, for 3 hours and 26 minutes, you would think that she would have gotten a little more runtime. And I think it's weird, some of the choices that Martin Scorsese makes to focus on in this film. Having never read the book, I don't know where that focus goes. But just speaking from this film, it does seem like the focus isn't where it should be. While they talk about it focusing on this Native American tribe and all the stuff they got to deal with in this community and how this community views them, you pay Leonardo DiCaprio to be your lead. You focus on Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. And that's what they do, because it's more about them and their involvement in what is happening in this town to these people. And it's more about them. And I was a little disappointed in that aspect. I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more involved with the Native American community. But, I mean, maybe others will feel differently. That's just how I felt. kind of going along with this film, and that was the aspect of this I was really excited about. And the 3.5 hour runtime does weigh on you a little bit. There is a point, and you see this moment in the trailer that it kind of finally locked me in. I'm not sure at what point, because I don't look at my phone or my watch during the film, so I don't know how far into the movie this was. But in the trailer, you see a scene of a house exploding. It's kind of from there on to the end of the movie, to about maybe the last 10-15 minutes, that I was back. I was engaged. I was kind of into this story a little bit. But it just never quite hit the levels of like a Wolf of Wall Street, which I love. It's a 3-hour movie that I never felt the length of that at all. You feel the length here, and that really drags. Another thing that bums me out, the story. As good as the story is, not great. I think it's one of the weaker aspects of this film, because I think, technically speaking, this is a fantastic movie. I think it's great cinematography. It is great. It's got a good score to it. I think Martin Scorsese is a great director, so there's stuff he does direction-wise, which is absolutely great. Technical side, outstanding, but it's just from the story perspective and from the editing perspective, it lacks a lot to be desired for me. And that's not to say that this is bad or that I hated it. It's just, it really tempered what could have been a phenomenal film, like a top 10 of the year film, and just kind of knocked it out of the top 10 a little ways. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give this film a B+. Definitely, like I said, not bad. I just don't know if I would ever sit through this again. The length really does kind of temper my excitement to go back to it, because, like I said, great performances in it. It's, a lot of great visual stuff, and there are some intriguing story stuff, but it just never really, gets to the point where I could rant and rave about it. That's just me. So, Killers of the Flower Moon, I'd recommend, if you got the time. It's probably worth sitting down, but if you can't handle a 3-hour movie, just skip this one. I'm gonna be frank with you. Just pass it on by. So end of the day, that's how I feel about Killers of the Flower Moon. How's everybody doing? It has been so long since I've done a review. It's been about 2 months, and as you can see, I got a new setup, and I'm just kind of getting used to this space. This is the first review I've done in a while, so yeah. Let me know down in the comments, guys, how this turned out. Audio-wise, I'm sure it's going to be a little shaky at first, but I'm going to get it nailed down, buckled down, and we'll get some more reviews coming your way, especially with Halloween. I'm hoping to do some more stuff. So until then, guys, I'll be seeing you.